Hello there, everybody. And today, to end the Christmas reviews of 2025, I am doing How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The live action version, it is the 25th anniversary of it, and it stars the legendary Jim Carrey. So, I got a bit of a history with Dr. Seuss. I've always grew up with his books. I think we all did when we were kids. I think probably the most iconic thing for the Dr. Seuss was the Grinch, because it has the Christmas theme with it. But for this movie, what really works is the production level, and there's just so much to look at for this one live action movie, and it tries to adapt different things from the book and the cartoon. But honestly, I do prefer the cartoon, since that it's a classic. But this movie, I rewatched it recently, and I gotta say, it's actually pretty good on rewatch. The movie still holds up all these years later. But the best part is Jim Carrey. He gives a great performance as the Grinch. You could just tell he was meant for this role. And they put a lot of work into the makeup and costume for his character. I couldn't imagine wearing that for hours just to do these random scenes. But not exactly random scenes, but just a lot of I think you get the point. But we also got Max in this movie. He's an adorable little dog in this. You honestly feel bad for Max, since he is basically the pet for the Grinch, and he's forced to do the schemes he commits throughout this whole movie and the cartoon, and he just honestly deserves a better owner. But if you don't know the Grinch, he basically hates Christmas so much that he wants to steal it. But the Townsville of Whoville basically have their ways of loving Christmas and celebrating it, and it just makes the Grinch really mad. But throughout this whole movie, we actually slowly learn about the Grinch's origin through Cindy Lou. I forget who she's played by. I think her name is Michelle Gallo. Sorry if I got her name wrong, but basically, her character is she is only interested in the Grinch to find out who he is. But she does encounter him early in the movie when he's in disguise. But she gets trapped in wrapping paper, and then she gets unwrapped by her father. But eventually she's able to learn about the Grinch's origin, where he was basically dropped off in the movie Storks, where he's a baby in a basket and is dropped off some random parent. And the Grinch was basically raised by those parents for a bit until something went wrong at school, where he would get bullied by the various kids. And he even had a crush on a girl he liked and made a gift for her. But of course, since his bullies ruined it, even the teacher laughs at him. He, of course, runs off and he just screams, "I hate Christmas." And he's since lived in this cave with Max. But I'm going to name this fact, but the boy who played the young Grinch, he actually was a little person in real life. He unfortunately passed away because of his conditions. But rest in peace to young Grinch. But basically, the Grinch is invited to a town's party by Cindy Lou, but of course nobody wants him. Even the mayor, who's played by Jeffrey Timber. But the Grinch does show up, and he is just not having it. He even puts on a Christmas sweater. Well, they force him to. And he basically does the most wild thing in this movie. He burns down the tree. But this is where the Whoville really want him just out of Whoville. But this is where the Grinch does come up with the idea to finally steal Christmas, just like in the cartoon. And we even see Jim Carrey sing the song. I even like the scene where he literally... This is also a blooper, but that he apparently was able to successfully pull off a sheet from a table, but he just messes it up, and I guess the director really loved it. But once he does put on the Santa suit, that's where we do get the theme song of "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." That song is iconic, even to this day. The original one's probably the best. I think it was sung by Dr. Seuss, but I don't know about this version. I think it was sung by Jim Carrey. I may be wrong about that. But of course, he makes his Santa suit, and he actually goes and steals Christmas. But because Cindy Lou Who already knows who the Grinch is in this version of the story, they have to change it up a bit where she doesn't know the Grinch is Santa. Basically, when he's stealing the tree, and we even hear the narrator do it, talk about what he's doing while he's hiding by the tree, and Cindy Lou Who basically talks to the Grinch without even realizing it. I forgot to also mention the narrator of this movie is Anthony Hopkins, a legendary actor. I think he fits perfectly for the narration of this movie. But the Grinch basically does all he can, and he just steals Christmas, and all the Whoville wonder what happened. But just like in the cartoon, they all sing, I'm pretty sure, and this actually starts to change the Grinch's heart, and we even see Jim Carrey panic, and he's wondering what love is, and he decides to have a change of heart, but it's too late as the sled he's using to take all Christmas away is starting to fall down. And actually, this is probably my favorite sequence of the movie, where Cindy Lou Who and Grinch and Max basically hop onto the sled to stop it from falling, and they basically ride their way all the way back to Whoville. We even see the Grinch lift that sled. I couldn't even imagine lifting all that. I wonder how they were able to do that scene. But the Grinch basically saves Christmas, even though he tried to destroy it. And I guess the Whoville people do forgive him and accept him for who he is, I guess. But he decides to become the nice dude of Whoville. I'm calling him a dude. But yeah, How the Grinch Stole Christmas was definitely a worthwhile movie to watch for sure. Like I said, I don't think it's as good as the cartoon, but that cartoon was only 20 minutes. But for this is just like an hour and a half movie. But I really like the Whoville people in this. There's a lot of prosthetics in this movie. It works really well. And Jim Carrey just gives a great performance because he's just be able to just be as over the top as the Grinch as possible. And I even think the Grinch terrified some kids back in the day with this live action version. Honestly, I did think it was creepy when I saw it as a kid. But the girl who played Cindy Lou Who was adorable. Even Max, the dog, who was apparently a very talented actor dog. But yeah, what do you think of How the Grinch Stole Christmas? And that does end my 2025 movie reviews of this year. I'm probably just going to upload my top 5 shows and movies, which I've already made. And, of course, my most anticipated for 2026. I'm definitely going to try to review other movies throughout the year, just so I don't come off as just reviewing new releases. So be on the lookout for that. So anyway, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.